We're in the middle of moving right now, as you can see behind me. Now, let's be clear, moving sucks. But I've learned from life that when something sucks, you should try and at least learn a lesson from it. So here are three that I want to share with you today. The first is about conventions. Now, I spent a good couple of hours yesterday packing up fine china that we received for our wedding and cursing the very name of the very kind, generous people that bought us china 7 years ago. Who uses china anymore? What's it for? It's still spotlessly clean because it hasn't been used in all of these years. And I do most of the cooking, and the last thing I want to do with two young kids is break out the china. But it got me thinking about conventions. What else are you holding on to from your past that doesn't really fit your lifestyle or what you're doing now? The second thing is about fear of change. We're moving to a slightly bigger place in a slightly nicer location across town in Dallas. And yet still there's this fear of change, you know, almost wake up some days and don't want to move and wonder what it's going to be like. And again, that got me thinking about how in life that we fear change the most when it's heading us in the most positive direction, or saying it another way, when you're really on track to live out your dreams or take a positive next step for yourself, that's when the fear of change is the strongest. And in fact, that's probably the most reliable indicator that you're actually doing something that's good for you and challenging, is that you've got a fear of change associated with that. And the last one's about if-then thinking. Now, Darcy and I have already talked about all the dinner parties we're going to be hosting in our new house. Of course, we don't host any dinner parties now at the moment. I mean, we're both really busy and we've got two young kids, so we're too tired, frankly, most of the time. But when we move into this new place, everything's going to change. But we've fallen afoul of this if-then thinking. A lot of us do that in our own lives as well. We're waiting for something to happen. If I get that promotion, if I move here, if I do that, if I meet that person, then life is going to be different and I'm going to do what I really want to do. Now, that if-then moment actually is now. It's always now, or yesterday, or 2 years ago. Don't wait for that perfect time or that perfect moment when things are going to change and make all of this possible. If you love cars and you want to make videos about that, then go ahead. If you've always wanted to write a book, then get started on drafting your ideas and getting them in a decent structure. If you wanted to change careers or explore what else is out there, then get started on that. Get started on that creative project, etc. Okay, hopefully that was of some use to you. See you again when we're in the new place. Until then, all the best.